Hello, my name is Samuel Z. Zarkov, and I'm Junior Sales Associate for STI Technologies. Join me on this stimulating journey into the heart of sales prospecting.
Okay.
Our first step in discussing prospecting is discovering who our key customer clientele is. The foundation of discovering this is making up a checklist. The checklist helps sort through the prospects that are interested in our goods and the general population that have no personal interest or desire whatsoever. Because STI is part of the healthcare pharmaceutical industry, we have found that through a process of elimination that there are 4 key groups that we can establish contact with for our clientele. The 4 groups listed here are STI's ideal customer base and lead demographic. Retired citizens over the age of 67 make up a population of 2 to 3 million people. People with physical and mental health problems average around 5 million people, and chronic pain sufferers average around 3 million of the population. If we check off the cross-fertilization between all 4 groups, then we can estimate that there is a population of 5 to 6 million people out there that STI can get in contact with to breach our business. That is 5 million potential leads out there that we can find. Now that we have established who our customers are, the next step is attempting to find out and locate them, with the central question being, where am I likely to find the greatest number of the profile? Sources of prospects include cold calls, referrals, advertising, direct mail, telephone, and the modern invention of e-prospecting and online searches. In STI's market, we have narrowed the sources of prospecting down to 5 very important foundations: cold calling, referrals, networking, center of influences, advertising, and e-prospecting. Number 1, cold calling, the most simplest yet most direct method to acquiring leads. Sales agents make contact with as many strangers as they can possibly do, using directories, internet, and other resources to attract customers that seem to have the key demographic profiles that we are looking for. The primary challenge is getting people interested in the product, but if you are able to explain to them the benefits and the cons within a 30-second radius, interest will be stimulated to the point where you might be able to actually make a sale. Cold calling also allows sales agents to find out if the prospect is qualified enough, with questions related to the prospect being, do they control their financial situation? What is their prospects like? Will the product be able to satisfy them? How would you be? These questions allow us to build relationships with the leads, perhaps leading to the potential of them becoming full-time customers. Eventually, as we continue our relationship, we may be able to ask them more specific questions, attract some of their friends and associates who may also benefit from the products. Then there is the prospect of networking and the center of influence, which STI sales agents are in a proud position to actually gain from the medical market. By building connections and relationships with doctors, pharmacies, and other clinical agencies, we can access the greater records of the distribution of patients and our potential clientele if we have the services of the network providers to give us the names of the people that we can contact. This will eliminate the time of making cold calls. By giving us access to the service providers, we can be able to find customers and prospects tenfold than we would through the process of cold call. Then there is advertisement, which allows us to place our products in magazines and periodicals in which most of our customers may be able to read. Although this doesn't place us in direct contact with consumers, it does allow us to get the distribution to the greater number of people who will see our product and contact us eventually with more interest. So say 100 people read an article and see the product advertisement. Odds are there will be at least 10 or 15 who will be interested to make a phone call. This is a good basis for us to start with establishment and good customer relationships. Finally, with the advent of technology comes e-prospecting. With e-prospecting, sales agents can find valuable information on the internet about sales prospectings, demographics, psychographics, geographical locations, and other data. That is a gold mine to mapping out leads and potential sales clients. E-prospecting can also be beneficial in collecting hundreds of information about individual people using such social media hubs such as Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, which give us a variable amount of information on each person before we can even contact them. Now that we have some basis in knowing who our ideal customers are, as well as probable prospecting sources for reaching them, it's time to look at the third challenge: the rate and frequency at which we should be contacting leads and a numerical value of customer contact information per an annual period. In order to establish a good prospect to lead time, it's considered for STI agents to establish later than a net worth of over 800 prospects for a quarterly period. That's 800 prospects for quarterly period divided by 50% for each funneling down sequence, which leads to down to 400 calls and referrals, down to 200 prospects identified with needs, down to 100 qualified prospects, 50 presentations, down to 25 calls, and hopefully 15 closes. A good benchmark for closing sales is at least 15%. Anything below that is impartial. Anything higher than 20% is fantastic. But odds are that you will not, no sales agent will reach anything higher than 30% of a given period of time. When we reduce the amount of prospects down to the few remaining leads of the period, it's time to divide the good leads from the bad leads. And the best method of doing that is usually through contacting and discussing things with the clientele. To find the qualified prospects, we sort our questions to the customers using the principles of MAD. MAD is an acronym which describes the three listings of an important prospect. That 1, they have money, that 2, they have authority to buy, and 3, they have the desire to buy. Given that STI deals with people who are slightly financially at a disadvantage, the question of money comes not from the aspect of having so much of it, but the ability to pay for the product itself at the discount rate that we give it. When it comes to the aspect of authority, sales agents should think about the qualities of why the person is buying the product. Is it for them or for someone else? Are they the official decision maker of the buyer of the product? If so, do we speak to them or do we speak to someone who actually is an authority to buy? This aspect is very important to when we're dealing with a customer who may or may not has the influence of their children or other beneficiaries influencing them. The third element of MAD is desire. The desire of a qualified prospect depends on how urgent they need the product. Are they replacing a product with something that is older? Is the product of such a value and importance to them that it's almost a necessity to their survival? If the leads lack any of the three aspects of MAD, odds are they're not going to be quality prospects, and our time has been severely wasted. However, if they do meet all the three criteria, odds are the motive, the means, and the opportunity to make sure that they can become our customers. Our motive is that we provide a better quality of services than government-rated systems, and we actually provide financial benefits for people who are at a significant disadvantage and can pay at a going rate. Establishing a means for customers means how are they going to pay, in what system are they going to do it, and will they be able to continue on a regular basis? If the question is yes to all three aspects of it, then it turns out we can get to an opportunity. And with opportunity satisfied, it is then that we have a customer going. The advantages of new sales technology is significant when you think of in terms of increasing prospecting opportunities and sales generations for giving clientele. The future of leads and prospect generation is at the heart of technology, and finding customers today is not based on physical space, but acquiring them from virtual space. Listed here are 5 of the key components of future sales generation technology. A company blog can keep up to detailed information about daily activities of the company and future plans for new products. It can keep customers up to date with plans that the company is doing in the future and what kind of activities that they're providing for. A blog can also provide a sense of community and hospitality for those who are introduced to our product. Apps for sales agents can generate more leads at a quicker rate of time. Also, market and automation apps that help you to build nurturing paths for leads and calculate lead scores for sales. Apps like Lead Formax from Calidus Cloud also specialize in lead management. Apps can also make the pre-approach stage an easier venture before you even meet the customer face-to-face. For those that require a visual and auditorial aid, YouTube is a remarkable place for a company to actually put their products online to get foot traffic in. YouTube videos also get high search engine rankings and are a great means of building customer relationships on the web. Positive customer testimonials, and contact information should someone want to be interested in our products. Then we have data mining, which is a method of collecting information and finding relationships between the divergent forms of intel. One of the advantages of data mining is finding out information that we never know existed. For instance, data mining can construct where our users live, which regions are the most concentrated, and which our sales agents can then use to find the most leads for potential sales. Data mining then leads us to construction of new software systems, which helps us incorporate the information as well as manage the sales pipeline with greater lead time. Software systems like Internet Lead 10 Generator can acquire and track leads through their entire life cycle, also capture in real-time basis, establish lead contract strategies, engage with dormant leads and recycling process, and ensure timely lead follow-ups. Thus, by incorporating these 5 future technologies, STI will have more lead generations than with current systems. Thus, with all avenues discussed, this concludes my sales presentation. Thank you for joining me in this tale of prospecting and puppetry. Snarf!